Hello. Oh, good. Hi, I'm Kent Turner. I'm one of the programmers here at the festival, and we're very fortunate to have the co-producer of All Square, Nick Smith, here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Yes. Well, why don't we start off with talking about the screenplay? The writer is Timothy Brady, and if I'm not mistaken, this is his first produced film?
Yeah. So this was just kind of a concept where he comes from an area similar like that, and he was sitting there and thinking about ideas, and one of them was what happens if people were to bet on Little League games. So that kind of brought us to this screenplay where he had worked on it for a couple years and didn't know if he wanted to go the independent route, and it got shopped around a little bit, and it came into our lap, and we were ready to roll right away after reading it. And I'd say we got the script last May, and we were shooting by June, like right away. So it was, we knew it right away once we got the script that we wanted to do it.
What, you mean within a month?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was. It had gone around to different studios, and it was kind of on that border of independent or studio film.
Right.
And, once we saw it, it was yes from both sides, and it literally took just a little over a month to get started in pre-production.
Well, and the director, John Hyams, did he come on after? Was it first you, the producers, and then the director?
So John, pretty much everybody you see in that film who has a significant role or director and writer, they are all poker buddies for about 20 years now in New York, and this was I think this was more of a reunion for them than it was making a film. So they all got together, and John, Timmy, Michael Kelly, Josh Lucas, Jay Larson, a bunch of the guys, literally all just poker buddies. And once Timmy wrote this script and it was getting a little bit more attention, he got John to sign on, and then Michael actually brought it to us at Paperclip, and who he had known Yardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson. So she is Paperclip Limited with Ben Cornwell and myself, and once he brought the script to us, everyone kind of just fell in one after another. Just John Hyams, Timmy, then Mikey said we're all good, and then we knew that the House of Cards crew was out of season, and that's kind of why we decided to go to Baltimore and shoot over there. So.
Oh, and it's also worth noting that Yardley Smith plays one of the bartenders go-between. So
Yardley, she's nothing like her character in this. She was playing kind of a foul-mouthed, sleazy bartender, and it was way out of character. We had to put tattoos on her, and she wasn't too happy about that. But other than that, just a couple days got her in, and then she was off back to LA. So it was.
Well, was the film also out of character for the director? Because he's done a lot of action, big budget action.
Yeah, so he is a genre director where this was definitely a challenge for him at first, and he worked with Yaron, our DP, before, and they do Z Nation, zombie series on Netflix. I haven't seen it, so I'm not plugging it or anything, but you guys can watch that on Netflix if you want. But so he is a genre director, and coming into this more serious with a little hint of comedy was something where if you met him in person and saw how outgoing he was, and just a funny dude in general, you would think that he's going to make a film like this. You wouldn't think that he would be that genre style action or just type of filmmaker. This was out of his element at first, and it just worked out really well. He's just awesome guy, and filmmaker, of course.
Well, it's a great cast, and so you say it was really a network of friends and people who knew another actor who could play a role, because it seems like it's a wish list, because everyone is well cast. They're actors that we know. We may not know their name, but we've seen them in so much of television and movies.
Yeah, I think Pamela Adlon from Californication, which is probably what most people know her from, she was the only one who wasn't friends with, Timmy and Mikey and everyone. And the way that we got her was just writing a letter to her. Oh. And it was a heartfelt letter from the director, and she responded in a way that I can't really say on a stage here. Okay. She's just like her character in that Californication, so if you use your imagination, you can guess what she said to us. But she called us a bunch of funny names, you could say that.
Well, and the young actor who plays Brian, Jesse Ray Sheps, how did you know that he was how could you tell that he was the right one?
Well, it's funny, when you are looking for a character in a movie like this where there's sports involved, you would think that there would be a lot more kids who are able to, act and play baseball, but at the end of the day, there's just not. So when we saw a kid that could act and play baseball, then that was kind of the tell of, wow, all right, well, we got one or two. And Jesse met with Mike and John in New York, and they kind of just ran some lines, and John came back to Baltimore where we had our production office and was like, this is the kid. Jesse's going to be our kid. So, obviously great sport. We're in the heat the whole time. I mean, all those kids, it was tough, but I guess my real title should be more of babysitter than it was co-producer, but had a lot of kids running around, but Jesse was able to, blend it with them, but also show that he kind of stands out from everybody else. And then the kid that he punched in the face was actually the runner-up for that part. So, yeah.
I don't know if that's much of a consolation prize.
No, so he not only did he get the role, he just got punched in the face in the film. So.
Well, more importantly, what about Sparkle, the dog? Where did
Sparkle? So yes, our costume designer Christina, she had this dog, and just looking at it, we knew right away that this was going to be the perfect dog for this film. No training at all. Cece the pup was literally just born to play this role.
Wow.
Of Sparkle in the film, and was super cooperative. Definitely loved Lucky Charms. That was big. So no, we didn't really feed her that much. Just took the marshmallows out, and it was okay. So that's okay to say, right? Fair.
Yeah, we won't tell.
Okay, all right, good.
And you're from this area, right?
I am. So, pretty much 90% of this crowd are all from Freehold, New Jersey. And it was just important to bring it back. I mean, a lot of people, I just kind of tell them, I go to LA and I don't tell them what I do. So this was a chance to say, oh, hey, I'm actually, doing something out there, and I'm not just running around on the beach half the time. So I was able to submit it to this film festival and heard back. And my mom has been planning it for, we have some all-square cupcakes back at the house. She's very excited about it. So. And I got, everybody came out to support me. So I think that's what it was about, was just getting that support. I don't know if they liked it or not yet, so.
Well,
that's something.
Yeah. And about Michael Kelly, this is a change of pace from the role in House of Cards,
yes,
that most people know him from. I mean, do you know? What really drew him to the script? It's besides that it's a good script.
Yeah.
Was it an opportunity for him to do something else, or?
Well, as you said before, this is full of cast that you sit there and you say, oh, I know that person from this, I know that person from that. But if you really go and examine their roles in the past, none of them are really those leading characters. So when Mike saw the opportunity to take on, if you really break it down, how much dialogue and everything was going on, and just a meaty role for him, and to stand out as a lead, I think that really drew him to the character, to show that he has those chops, rather than Doug Stamper, who doesn't smile at all in House of Cards. He's, a very serious character, and here he's a little bit more serious, but he cracks a smile. He's not like that in real life. He's smiling all the time. He's a great dude, and it's such a different character between on screen and real life. So just another, and I think obviously, Timmy was twisting his arm saying, dude, I need some help over here, so you got to come and help me out with my film. But either way, I think it worked out for the best for everyone.
So he knew the screenwriter, Tim Brady, beforehand.
Yeah,
So
he
they
was
were
in that.
friends.
He was in the poker
I see.
crew. Mikey
Okay.
was. So, I mean, what you're seeing is, I want to say, maybe a little realistic for the most part. I don't know if they actually ended up betting on Little League games, but they definitely are degenerate gamblers for the most part, which a lot of fun. Yeah. No, I didn't make any money. I lost all of it to these guys on set, pretty much. Yeah. I'm not a very good poker player, so.
Well, why don't we see if there's any questions in the audience? Take questions. Yes, you.
As many people here know, you were a prolific Little League player. I wanted to know if you were able to draw on those experiences, grinding it out in the Little Leagues, making it to district teams, or if you needed more so to fall on to owing money to bookies to know how to produce this film properly.
I can't. Sorry, that's one of my best friends, Skylar, right there. So I told him specifically not to ask any questions, but here we go.
Okay, to make it a real question, were you able to more so draw on experiences as a kid playing Little League or adult experiences sympathizing with Michael Kelly's character?
For me, I was living in my past with all the Little League going on around me for sure. I would say most of the time I was standing behind the plate hoping that, those little kids would pitch to me so I could just bomb it 200 feet over the fence and try and look cool in front of all these little kids. But it was, like I said, those guys are the gamblers. I was a Little League guy, so it kind of came together as a perfect combination to where, I was helping Jesse learn how to pitch. He was a good actor, and baseball player was a little lackluster. I don't want to, he's not here to defend himself, so.
You can't tell.
But either way, so yeah, teaching him how to pitch and everything, and just fundamentals, and hopefully it played on screen. I mean, I know I have some former coaches here, so they can tell if I actually made it look good or not. I don't know.
Another question. Let me see. Okay.
Hi, Nick.
Hey.
So, it was awesome. We're so glad to be here. Can you tell me what a producer does exactly?
Well, so I guess I'll try and make it as short as possible. Producer, like I said, babysitter. Other than that, a lot of the producer is start to finish everything. We have about 5 of us that went out there from California, and it was casting to all of those characters, to getting all the locations. We have locations managers and signing off on all of those wonderful dive bars that you saw throughout the film. So I had to do some scouting for them, and I wasn't drinking at all during that process, so don't worry about that. But locations, casting, a lot of paperwork here and there that I learned, especially for something like this, and dealing with parents is a lot of it as well for a film like this, and pretty much everything that you could think of is under the title of producer. So I mean, even if it comes to, we had Jersey Mike subs, they were a huge part of it. So getting the food for everyone and getting the meals and all a big process. But you could say anything. Just I produced that sandwich. I produced that. So it's a mix of everything, which is good. You learn a lot.
Another question. Let me see. Do we see any? Oh.
It's okay, I know how to project them. I've been in theater.
Okay. Good.
So I would love to, hi, first of all, my name's Jay, awesome film.
Hey Jay, thank you.
I would love to know how many prep days you guys had and how many shooting days you guys had.
So prep was about, I want to say, just a little over a month, and then we had 21 days of shooting, which I think we actually might have done it in 20, but we scheduled for 21 and bumped it down a day. Just a lot of that Little League action. Just, I mean, getting people there. It's so hard to get people into, you know, something like that where you say, all right, come, and you can be on screen and everything, but trying to get them to sit there for 10 hours a day is hard. So a lot of the days that we were shooting took up was all that baseball, and I think we could have done it for less. Is I guess what I'm trying to say is in that 18 to maybe 17 if we were lucky.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh yes, please.
Hi, you did an amazing job on that film. I feel like I am proud mother, I guess. But
Thank you.
so it definitely has my vote, just to be clear. But one thing I guess I want to know, because you said that we don't really know what you do out there. So what was your biggest, I guess, learning experience from the film, and what are you going to take with you?
Biggest learning experience. Don't film in the summertime in Baltimore. That's very sweaty, me personally and everybody else. No, actually, biggest learning experience was trying to get something like that done in the time that we did. I know, with bigger productions, you have a lot of people doing a lot of jobs, and here we just had a few people doing a lot of jobs. So managing that, I guess, would be the biggest takeaway for me. And all of the producers you saw up there, we were driving 4-ton trucks, just trying to help out where we could, and moving around, all the vehicles and all the people, and I guess just managing everything going on with such a hectic set was one of the biggest things. And there was a two-parter there, wasn't it? What was the second part? What am I from that? I'm sorry, everyone was laughing. What was that last part?
What lessons are you taking?
Lessons, I would say, I don't know, actually. I mean, I would say that try to really get as much as you can out of what you have. We had very little, so being able to take that away from it, to show what we did on screen, that was a huge lesson. Just trying to work with what you got, because that's going to be your end game there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now is it too early to make some sort of announcement about future theatrical or video on demand?
There's speculation. We are looking for a fall release sometime around October. So I know you guys all saw it here, and most of you are family and friends, but please pay for it when it goes to theaters. That'll help me out. I'm sure my dad will be happy that maybe the movie will make a little bit of money, and then I can stop asking him for stuff for the most part.
Okay. So we have time for one more question. So yes, right in the center. Yes.
I thought the music was terrific.
Oh.
I wanted to know how that was selected, put in different places where it was. I think he heard me.
It was
Yeah.
about the music selection.
Yeah, so it's funny, obviously a baseball movie. Our director, who also edited the film with his team, he kind of came back to us one day and he didn't really say what he was going to do with the music, and then he played it and for us, and we were listening, and he's just super excited about all the accordions and that really old school baseball feel. So that was kind of where the organs and the accordions, and he was just set on it right from the start. So that's kind of just played throughout, as you heard, and it's just all different kind of tempos based off of that style. So it's good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for attending the festival. Thank you for coming.